baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is morning coffee with Elio. This is going to be a great day. We have a fantastic guest. Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra, another morning. Means another coffee because this is morning coffee with Elio. I am very happy to be here another Wednesday, another beautiful, day to be grateful for. And, I am excited because I have a good friend of mine that she is the director of prevention at Meridian, and her name is Laura Holley. Welcome to morning coffee with Elio.
Hey, Elio, how are you?
I am fantastic. I am very happy to have you here. I finally made it. I can't believe it. I finally made it.
Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you for taking the time. I know you are super busy, for many reasons. And in the first half of the show, today's show, we're going to be talking about, how is business looking like for Meridian, especially in this situation. How is Meridian, doing with his employees and also helping our community with your videos, posting content, so we can all grow through this situation. Talk to me about that.
Well, the COVID-19 crisis impacted all industries dramatically, but healthcare in a very specific way and mental health specifically in a unique way. The neat thing about Meridian is that Meridian has always before this offered a wide range of wraparound services, everything from inpatient to outpatient to community to prevention, which is my department, and just so many different programs. Sometimes we're sort of known as the inpatient facilities, and that's great. We do a good job at that, but there's, dozens of other programs that we have across the North Central Florida that have already had some infrastructure in place to be able to deliver virtual services. So that's the really cool thing. And I think that's what made Meridian unique. We had telehealth services already in place in order to reach our folks in rural communities that had transportation barriers or other barriers that prevented them from coming to one of our campuses. So that was already something we knew how to do. And then when this happened and it became unsafe or fearful for people to physically come, we just had to sort of up that game. And we were able to do that very quickly. Some of it's because we have, I think, the best IT department known to man. I'll give them a little shout out because they worked around the clock in those early days to really get everybody up and running. And the volume of what we saw on telehealth just really increased dramatically. But it was already there. It was already something that we were doing. We just had to tap into it and expand. So Meridian's leadership's done a tremendous job taking care of their employees and ensuring that if we were able to work from home, we could and still serve clients in not just the same capacity, but in a greater capacity. So that was kind of neat to see how quickly that evolved. That we saw some other agencies and other industries talking about how to go to virtual services, and we were already like a week or two into that. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be a member of the team and to see that happen. And it's also been neat to see that Meridian has walked people through how to do that, right? So I don't know about you, but you know me, so you know that technology is not my number one thing, right?
Well, you're doing great.
Well, thanks. I've had to learn just like everybody else, right? We've all been sort of thrown into the deep end here. But so if it were me on the other end of those services needing a counselor, I'm already feeling like I'm in crisis, and now I've got to add another crisis, right? Now I got to figure out this app on my phone. Meridian did Meridian did a really good job of putting people in place to sort of talk clients, new and existing, through how to do it. And then the entire time we've stayed open. So if you went, you know what, I can't do it, I'm coming in. Okay, you can come in too. So that's been kind of neat to see.
Yeah, it's so wonderful how you guys, you and your other friend, what is the name of the other lady that she's always with you on the videos? Um,
Mallory.
Oh, Mallory, let's shout out to Mallory also, for, all the good work. So Mallory and you always doing these amazing videos that I'm telling you
Thank you.
guys, you should follow what they are doing on Meridian with these videos. And you mentioned technology, you mentioned the obstacles that probably that you didn't know how to work with these apps, but and then you learn about it, and you are creating good, great content to help people through these stressful times. So, Laura, talk to me about what are the topics that you guys been actually talking about in these videos, and
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, so the video series you're talking about is on Meridian's Facebook page, and it was like just a little idea that we had, and we said we really want to reach people in a non-clinical way, right? Because everybody's stressed out, right? We're all going through this together, and we wanted to send the message that Meridian is by your side, whether you need clinical services or not. Maybe you're not at the level where you need that yet, or at all, but you still need some support or some help or some tips. So the videos are sort of designed to talk through the stuff that we're going through, and I say we because you've seen the videos. So Mallory and I talk about our own experiences too, in our own life, and our own stress, and our own anxiety. And then we're fortunate because we work in this industry that we have some tools to deal with those things. So we share those. So we've done. I think we're on number 7 in the series, and we've talked about relaxation, the importance of relaxation to reduce stress. We've also talked about aggressive stress reduction techniques, like when that's not working, what are some real active things you can do? We've talked about panic attacks. We've talked about the need for social interaction, and whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, and sort of how to get that. And just generally each week on Fridays at 8:30 is when they go up, and we're just talking about how we are coping. How are we coping? And because we know that if we're struggling in an area, or if we've had something come up during the week, there's X amount of people out there that have probably had the exact same thing or something similar. So we want to send the message that you're not alone, that there are tools, and that we're really, we're in the same sea. I don't like the term "we're in the same boat" because my boat's different than your boat. I get that, but I think we're all floating in the same sea right now, and so we're just kind of on there talking about our boat.
I like that idea. Like we have different boats, but we're in the same sea.
Yeah,
And when you talk about your own problems, like your own situations, people can relate to it, and
yeah,
people can, and that's why it's so important that you guys are sharing the tools, so people say, oh, that's interesting. It's like she's talking to me. I know a lot of people feel that way, right? It's like she's talking
sure.
directly to me. And you mentioned that the amount of people, the volume of patients, they have increased tremendously. So let me ask you this question. So do you think that people these days, especially with obviously these hard times of COVID-19, the behavior of people has changed a little bit? They are more, how are they acting? More aggressive? Are they more like concerned, depressed? What do you think about this? What is happening right now?
I think there's a couple things that we're seeing. I think that, and again, I'm not a clinician. I'm not seeing the clinical side, but just seeing the world through the lens that I have. I think we're seeing a couple of things. I think we're seeing the fear of the unknown, or even just the unknown, whether we're afraid of it or not, is just unsettling for people. And depending on who you are and how you respond and what tools you have, your response to that unknown can be different, right? So some people have a sadness, some people have an anxiety, some people want to spring into action, and some people want to withdraw. It varies, but I think it all stems from the unknown, and the massive amount of change that we've had to go through as a society. We've just gone through a lot of change, and we don't know what it looks like next week. We don't know what it looks like next year. We're not 1 or 2 weeks into this thing. We're like on week 7. So if people are starting to feel the pressure, there's economic concerns. There's parents have concerns about their kids, about school. There's just a lot. There's a lot of layers, and those layers look different for everybody. But I also think one of the things that is we're seeing an appreciation for people and for interaction, right? So I know I'm seeing that like in my own home and in my own relationships, where I miss my friends and I miss my family, and I'm valuing that time more so than before. I don't think that we're going to return to normal and suddenly take those interactions for granted, because we've been robbed of them for so long now, that I think we're going to see some kind of neat things that are going to possibly come in the wake of this as well.
Yeah, actually, I was talking to a friend of mine. Well, actually, George. Remember George, the
Yeah, yeah.
George Thomas? I was talking to George the other day. He came to my house to do some landscaping. He always comes because we enjoy being with each other. But now, like with 6 feet, away,
Hmm.
and then we were like, "Hey, man, I own you one hug," and then next day I own you two hugs. It's kind of sad, but at the same time, the positive side of this situation is that we appreciate more the time that we have with each other, even the time that we have with ourselves. I know because actually my wife is a mental health counselor that one of the things that mental health is about is appreciation for yourself, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Appreciation, and also how to build your confidence so
Yeah.
you can actually be feel stronger in hard times like COVID-19.
Hmm.
I think like not only patients, but you just said it, like anybody, like everyone right
Hmm.
now, especially if you, I mean, I always said if you're a business owner, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Your
Hmm.
your 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 employee, I mean, your work. All right, so your company is going through tough times. If you
Hmm.
own a business, you are going through tough times.
Yep.
I mean, everybody right now. So I think that's why the volume of people has increased so much. But I would love to share some tools that you guys have been talking on those videos, if you don't mind. I know you are not on the clinical side, but when you guys do the videos, can you mention at least two things that you recommend people to do at home or in
Sure,
their personal
sure.
life?
Yeah, there's I actually want to mention three if I can, because I
Oh
want to give
yeah.
two tools and then kind of like a little disclaimer about them, if you will, right? So the first, I think it's really important to take care of yourself, right? But more and more, we are learning that self care, and you touched on that just now a little bit, has is not just bubble baths and facials, right? Self care is about self love too, right? And giving ourselves grace and mercy, the same kind of grace and mercy we would give someone else, right? And so we need to take care of ourselves. We need to take time for ourselves. We think we have all this time for ourselves, but we're stuck in the house with people we love, and we can still love them and need a break. That's okay. Right. So you have to take care of yourself a little bit, and that looks different for everybody, whether that's reading a book, whether that's picking up a new hobby, whether that's binge watching Netflix, whether that's cooking more meals at home, or whatever it means for you. No one can tell you what's good for you in that term, but you need to make that time to take care of yourself. And then one of my favorite tools that we've shared in the videos is a deep breathing exercise, and that is when you are feeling overwhelmed, and all of it's kind of crashing down on you, and to really try to just take a break. And it's incredibly hard to take a break when you're inundated with it. So we recommend that you take a break from the news if you feel like you need to take a break from the news. We're living our lives on screens right now, so take a break from the screens if you need to. And simply intentional breathing. We taught in one of the videos a deep breathing exercise that involves breathing in for 4 counts, holding it for 4 counts, breathing out for 4 counts, and then pausing for 4 counts, and doing a couple of repetitions of that. There's some physical benefits to that. There's also a lot of emotional benefits to calming yourself down. It doesn't make the thoughts go away, it doesn't make the fears go away, but it puts you back in control in those moments when things feel overwhelming. I am the kind of person. So Mallory and I, that's kind of a cool thing about the videos too, is we're incredibly different. She's extroverted. I'm introverted. She's the outdoorsy type that wants to go on runs and sit in the grass. I don't like bugs, and I would rather sit inside and cook. Right. So we're very different. So she when she does the deep breathing, she can clear her mind. My mind's never clear. I need a task, right? So we taught a skill about mental games, which is while you're deep breathing, pick something to occupy your mind. So something that's going to require your focus, but is going to be challenging, like your favorite song lyrics backwards, or trying to remember the name of every teacher you had in high school, or listing 2 foods for every letter of the alphabet, things like that. So while you're doing the deep breathing, you're giving your mind a task. It's kind of like counting sheep, and you're staying occupied, so that you can sort of get through that moment and take a break from the overwhelming thoughts. So the caveat to that I wanted to throw in is that this is not a competition, right? So no one's going to win at the pandemic. You see all this stuff like pushed out on social media, like you should pick up a new hobby and you should, lose 10 pounds while you're stuck inside and you should run every day. But, Mallory said it perfect on one of our videos. She was like, but were we doing that before? Like, right?
Yeah.
So there's no prize at the end of this. So, you don't have to keep up with somebody else, and don't forget that what you see on social media is somebody's best version. So if it doesn't match yours, that's okay. So I think those are some highlights and some important things, and kind of the stuff that we talk about.
Wow, that is fantastic. Because you guys are really, really helping people to do different things, to deal with in different ways with different things emotionally, physically. It's just
Mm-hmm.
amazing, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing,
Thank you.
with the international community, because I know you guys are here in Gainesville, Gator Nation, go Gators. But since you are doing this on Facebook, you are helping the international community, this worldwide. So that I really appreciate you guys for doing that,
Thank
and
you.
I am proud of you guys, for keeping up with all the videos. You guys have a lot of views, a lot
Thank
of
you.
engagement in social media,
Hmm.
and that's actually making an impact. That's what I
Yeah.
call, being
Hmm.
remarkable, and just being, I will say, focus on helping others. But
Hmm.
let me tell you, Laura, you cannot come to Morning Coffee with Elio and not talk about Carson. But yes, we are talking. We're gonna be talking about Carson Jean Holly, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, yes, the little girl. Well, no, not that little anymore. The little girl that we only 10 years old. She went viral on social media with over, I don't know, 12 millions, right? 12 million views on Facebook.
52 million.
52 million.
Yes.
Get out. Oh my goodness. Over 52 millions, okay,
Hmm.
singing a song by Mark Anthony, but in Spanish, okay. Think about it for a second. I'll let you do your homework, and we're coming back in 1 minute. We're gonna be talking about Carson, and really important for you to stay right there to enjoy Boss Lady, the most recent single. It is just beautiful, beautiful song. It's a song to empower woman, to empower yourself, even if you are a man, just to empower your spirit. Because it's a song that when you hear that song, you are not only gonna be dancing, but you're gonna be enjoying yourself. So stay right there. We're coming back in just a minute with Laura Holley. Yes, sir. This is Morning Coffee with Elio. This is gonna be a great day. We have a fantastic guest right now. So we are coming back after this break. And just like that, we are back. That was quick, right?
Yes.
Laura, talk to me about being, Carson's mom. How awesome is that?
It's I'm really fortunate. I'm really fortunate. She's a special kid. I know I'm totally biased because I'm her mom. But she's doing things that she's 11 now, and she's doing things that um, you know, are really beyond what you would expect from a normal 11-year-old, and she's still very much an 11-year-old. So it's interesting because we made the segue talking about mental health into kind of talking about this, but she suffers, and this, from severe OCD. And so music for her, we discovered music when she was about 3 or 4, where when she first became symptomatic with OCD, and it was really the only time that she was symptom free, when she was listening to music or playing music or singing. And so we said, okay, we'll do music if it seems to help. And she just took to it like a fish to water, and was singing professionally by the time she was 7. So it's been a wild ride. We evaluate constantly. Is this good? Or is this too much? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And she's just so hungry for it that she thrives in the industry and in that kind of environment. She just wants to create and wants to share.
Before we jump into how successful she already is, let's back up really quick at the very beginning. You just mentioned that so she, at the very beginning, music was kind of like a treatment for her, like
Yeah.
you're just like a space, where
Mm-hmm.
she was feeling good. And then after all, she started feeling, well, that hunger. If you talk to Carson, if you see her singing, the passion, her dedication, her hard work, the love that she feels for music, it just
Mm-hmm.
amazing. You can feel it in the air when she's performing. So afterwards, so she started being, becoming more hungry about music and that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And being hungry and being laser focused on your goals and on your dreams is one of the things that we always try to talk about here at morning coffee. So now that you mentioned hunger, right, I remember that when we first met, it was at the festival in Celebration Point.
It was.
Yeah, I remember Ricky say, "Hey, do you mind if Carson, perform with you?" And I said, "Of course, yeah." We did like 3, 4 songs. I was playing the piano, she was singing. But here's the thing: when I was actually rehearsing with Carson, and I heard her voice with that so much sure, but also she was so into it. Like she wasn't like singing like a kid, like a
Yeah.
regular kid that is all over the place, not paying attention, and just wanna
No,
just
she's
you
really
know
like 30. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, right. So she, a normal kid just wanna be done with that, and she was so focused. So, and you're talking about being hungry, we're talking about being focused and growing, in the music industry at this young age. Okay, so since we first met until now, how much Carson's career has changed?
Gosh, so much. Well, you were one of the first people, the first person really to ever sit us down. I mean, we had heard, oh, she's got a gift, she's got something, you should pursue it, and we were, that's how she ended up at the festival. But I remember we met after that, and we sat down at Miapa, and you said, what are your rates? And you asked her, you didn't ask us. And I loved that, right? I'll never forget that as long as I live. And you said, Carson, what are your rates? And she laughed and she said, I don't have rates. I just sing. And you said, what you do has value and you should have rates. And then you offered her some mentoring and helped her sort of set what those rates were. But beyond that, you taught her when she needed to be flexible on that and when she needed to kind of set that aside. And that was the first time she looked at marketing herself as an artist. I'm not just a little girl that can sing. I'm an artist, and that mindset change. As soon as that happened, phew, I mean, that's when she really just started to say, "This is what I want to do. How am I going to do it? And how am I going to reach my goals? And what are my goals?" And she started asking herself and us all of those questions. And we do not come from a musical family. We are not performers, and we just sort of looked at her like, I don't know the answers to your questions. So we learned them together, and we're still learning every single day. And so now she's with Going Native Records and IBA Music, and she is, which is the company that she went viral with, singing with one of their musicians, Moises Espanol, and she's known them a long, long time, and finally, that professionalism that you saw, they saw that and they said, you know what? Let's go ahead and record her. Let's go ahead and do that. She's ready. And so she's put out 3 singles now. She's put out 2 of them are original. She's working on another one already. She's been, hired to sing at all different places and all different venues. She has done, she did a wedding with you, she was so emotional about that. She said, that's somebody's biggest day of their whole life. And I'm entrusted to help make that happy, and she's constantly looking for the next thing. Now she's learning instruments and she's working really hard with Dreamwalker Music Evolution in Orlando virtually. Now she's learning the ukulele and she's learning the piano and she's learning the drums, and just to see all of that talent and passion and how quickly she can hear it and she can translate it is just unbelievable. She just did a music festival virtually. She just did a whole bunch of stuff virtually. I mean, the industry is finding a way, right? And you know that you're, I mean, you're like the king of that right now, finding a way, and so she's finding her path right along with it, and it's really cool to see. The acting has also totally taken off. You know, she's been cast in a feature film. The production was halted, but you know, when things open back up, she'll go up to Rhode Island and finish filming that. We just got the preview link for her short film that she wrapped a couple of months ago. She's going to be performing as Matilda in the Garden Theater in Winter Garden over the winter holiday. You know, and that's a really great little professional theater down there in the Orlando area. So she's just like, I mean, there's nothing that she is not reaching out and grabbing. It's just been a really neat ride.
You know that to me it is so special. I'll tell you, and I am actually I am grateful that you know you guys heard my advice. You would, by the way, I really love that coffee mug. I wonder where can I find one like that. Oh my goodness! Thank you for the support, Laura. You guys are
Yes,
amazing.
always.
You know, I always wanna be that human being. You know, kind of like giving small tips that can make big difference. Or, but it's funny how people ignore me sometimes. You know, or most of the time, like, hey, like you know, even small business owners, or you know, sometimes giving marketing tips, this and that. But until that day, like somebody like Carson, like you guys, like say, hey, you know, I think he's right. Why wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
do this? And then you know you see results. It's like me, for example. I am grateful to have like a Freddy in my life that
Mm-hmm.
always give me you know the best advices ever. I call him my the maestro, you know, like my mentor.
Yeah.
And I think in life we all need that coach or that person, although or that system, that support system that you
Yep.
guys are part. That I am humbled to be part of that. You know, he also I know she also have other friends, but being able to open yourself to new opportunities, new advices, and being able to decide, well, I think this advice is good, but probably this is not good direction to take. You know,
Yeah.
that's really important.
I think that's the value in having a team, right? So you have to assemble a team of mentors and a team of people that you trust and an inner circle, right? Because you're not trying to recreate somebody else's path, right? So she's not trying to do what you did. She's not trying to do what this other mentor did. She's trying to do what Carson does, right? So how do you create your own path if you just have a singular beacon, right? So I think you gotta find the beacons, and then you have to figure out, you know, you got to do your own thing and follow your own dreams and your own path with the guidance of people that have gone before you. And because there's no reason to reinvent the wheel, you know what works and what doesn't, or you know you've said a couple times things you wish you would have known then, you know, so we're going to benefit from that experience, and then when she is older and established and an adult professional, somebody else will benefit from her experience.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been said so many times. You can see the picture when you are in the frame. So you know, Muhammad Ali was probably one of the greatest of all time, but he never won a
Yeah.
championship without Angelo Dundee. Michael Jordan never won a championship without Phil Jackson
Yeah.
because they wanted their coach, yes, at their corner. I'm telling you, it's so important to have somebody on your corner that is holding you accountable, that believe in you and in your dreams. And that's why if you're watching this show, you see how we are actually attaching Meridian to confidence, to believe in yourself, to love yourself, into somebody like Carson that is there right there, because I'm about to share Carson's most recent success. It is a success already, over 11,000 views on YouTube. I'm telling you, I almost got tears when I saw the video because, and when I heard that song, my goodness, if you are watching Morning Coffee with Elio, I am telling you, go right after this show to YouTube right now and enjoy Boss Lady by Carson Jean Holly. Subscribe to the channel. I already did because I didn't know that she has two channels, all right, two YouTube channels.
Mm-mm.
Only
She just has
one.
one. YouTube will sometimes automatically create a content channel. And so that happened with her early on because of the high number of views. So if it has the word topic after it, it's not the person you're looking for. It's just things that have to do with that person. So just the one that says Carson Holley is hers, and it's got her boss lady banner up in front and her picture. So
Awesome. Well, right now I am about to share with you guys Boss Lady by Carson Jean Holly so you guys can enjoy. And we're coming right back to talk about how you guys actually create this video because there is a very fun story behind this video, which is awesome. And I want you to guys to enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, Carson Jean Holly, Boss Lady, for you guys.
I raised my voice higher and higher, feeling 10 feet tall, louder and prouder, calling out your name, wilder with fire in me, the fire in me. Don't let them push you down, hijack and hold you back. I'm writing my destiny, overcoming gravity, surrounded by power. Our strength will devour, you'll see, repeating after me. I'm a boss lady, yeah. I'm a boss lady, yeah. They call me boss lady, hey. Juntas somos más fuertes, nos vamos a callar lo que está en nuestra mente. Tenemos una voz, we're stronger than you believe, together turning history. I'm calling, calling to the woman in the struggle. Can you hear me, hear me? You are more than you imagine, won't you feel me, flying with passion. We're singing out as one. Don't let them push you down, hijack and hold you back. I'm writing my destiny, overcoming gravity, surrounded by power. Our strength will devour, you'll see, repeating after me. I'm a boss lady, yeah. I'm a boss lady, yeah. They call me boss lady, hey. I'm a boss lady. I stand my ground, firm and forever, the only way I know. Fearless and sparkling, surrounded by power. Our strength will devour, you'll see, repeating after me. I'm a boss lady. I'm calling to the woman in the struggle. Can you hear me, hear me? You are more than you imagine, won't you feel me, flying with passion. We're singing out as one. I'm calling to the woman in the struggle. Can you hear me, hear me? You are more than you imagine, won't you feel me, flying with passion. We're singing out as one. We're singing out as one. I'm a boss lady. I'm a boss lady.
And just like that, we are back. Welcome back to Morning Coffee. How was it? Make a comment below. Hashtag Carson go. Go Carson. Hey, Boss Lady, it is out there available on all digital platforms. I'm sure iTunes, right? Spotify, Google, Apple Music. Oh my goodness, it is exciting. So, Laura, talk to me. How did you guys, how did you guys accomplish, making this fantastic video by yourself? Because I know, look at you. Because I know
oh,
you had a lot of obstacles trying to make the video looking good and everything. Talk to me about the process of the making of.
yeah, well, it was quite a process. So, like a lot of people, we've been thrown into this pandemic and suddenly have to learn new skills in order to get by, right? So we were really fortunate. She had laid all the vocals for it like a week before everything just came to a screeching halt. So the vocals were in; they just needed to be, mixed and all the stuff that her amazing producers do in the studio. And then we just didn't have the ability to do a video. They had a great vision. We were going to use a school hallway and locker. I mean, it was a whole big thing. because you've seen K Latte, you know their work, right? So good. And they said, well, we don't have that. We're going to do a lyric video. And I said, oh, okay, what is that? Well, you're going to have to film it. What? Elio, it was so bad that my tech skills are so bad that Adana Ram Santos, her lovely and patient producer, literally had to FaceTime me to teach me how to turn the camera from autofocus to manual focus because I couldn't even do that. And he was so patient and so kind and was like, just do your best, do your best. So we went out to a remote location and we just, the way that for those that don't know, the way you record a music video is when the vocals are laid, you play the song and the artist is singing to themselves, right? And they actually sing it out loud so that, the voice is there and the movements and the muscles and then the actual audio is overlaid in the editing process, right? So we're out there with big speakers and we brought our dining room chair I'm standing on and my camera that I barely know how to work, and those people that know the mother-daughter dynamic, particularly as you're rapidly approaching early teenage years, you can imagine how smooth that all went. Someone else can tell my child to do anything and she's, oh yes sir, no sir. I tell her to move 2 steps to the left and I'm the enemy, so because I'm mom, right? So but she was, we did okay. So we get out there and we're in at one point in the woods and there's bugs and we're both freaking out and half of what I shot was out of focus and she was doing something and she fell. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff. So we took just hours and hours over the course of 2 days of footage, just hoping and praying that something we got was usable. I paid really close attention because I was fascinated when they shot her first video. And these are professionals. So I watched okay, they did one whole take really up close. They did one whole take with the whole body. So I tried to do that. I don't know. There was one hilarious outtake that she was on brick stairs and it was so by accident. It was a gorgeous shot and I zoomed in and she somehow stayed in focus and it was beautiful. And I was so excited and you can hear me in the back going, oh, that looks really nice. And it was right at the critical part in the song where she says towards the end, I stand my ground. And she sneezed. In the middle of the recording, and I can't recreate that. So you hear me just fussing in the background. It's hilarious, but we got through it. I mean, her stamina to do work, when she filmed the first video, she was, I want to say it was 11 and a half hours on set. She did 14 hours in the studio. I mean, and we leave and she goes, oh, that's fun. Where are we going for dinner? Her stamina to work is unbelievable when she's doing music. And so, we got through it and then we sent everything off. I was just oh, here you go. And I sent it all down to her producers in Orlando and they at IBA Music, and they just created this beautiful lyric video somehow out of the junk I sent them. And so we were able to put it up and, you see from the view count, not only are people enjoying it, but just how important it really is to have that visual to go along with the music, because people, we live in a day and age where people like visual, they like the video, they want to click on that. And so I'm really grateful that we had a really creative team that was innovative enough to figure out how to do that in a lockdown. And they sort of forced me out of my comfort zone to help make it happen.
I'm telling you, and you did a brilliant job. I'm telling
Thank you.
If you guys, you don't believe me that you're watching, go right now to YouTube and you'll see the amazing videographer Laura Holley.
I got a director credit too. I was listed in the official distribution as the director of photography.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I know.
Fantastic.
I got an IMDb credit because of it.
Oh my God! That multitasking all over the place. I love that. Hey, and you just mentioned going outside of your comfort zone. That's one of the main reasons, that successful people, they succeed because they go outside of their what we call above and beyond. Outside,
Yes.
going outside of your comfort zone, going the extra mile, and you're making hey, this is what I want and we're gonna make it happen regardless. And that's what you guys did. That's why I think the video, I mean, for me, when I heard the song, just the song itself, it is unbelievable. I'm telling you guys,
Thank you.
it is unbelievable. Boss Lady on YouTube, all the digital platforms, go right now and do not only listen to it. Please download it. Support
Yes.
the artist, support Carson. Buy it. Sometimes I think iTunes is $2.99, $3.99. Doesn't matter, whatever it is. Support artists, support arts. So go and enjoy Boss Lady. But the song and then the video and then growing through these times, fulfilled with obstacles, with stress, and
Mhm.
that's amazing. This is a testimony of growing, of
Yeah.
growing or growth. And that's I recently did an amazing conference where I actually had the opportunity to play one of Carson's videos, Kelate, and the conference was called, moving forward with confidence, growing through these times. So, and you know how we are actually attaching all these topics just for you. So
Mhm.
you that are watching know that you can make it. You got what it takes.
Yeah.
When I saw Carson the first time, I said to her one thing that I try to always keep in my mind, and I want to say to every single human being, it's not my phrase. It's by Les Brown, and he always said, "You have something special. You have greatness within you." So when you see somebody like Carson, with that passion, with that dedication, with that somebody that you see, it is worth to take a second, take a minute, hold on, stop, and say to this person how special they are, how awesome they are, and so you see the difference that they are going to make in the future. Like Carson, she's making a difference right now. This is the
Thank you.
future. She's making the difference. It's not like, oh, she's gonna be big. No, she's gonna be bigger. She's already big because of I think the way I see things is not like you are not big with how many followers you have on
Yeah.
Twitter, how much money you have in the bank. No, no, it's not about that. You are big because of the amount of work that you are putting into your
Mhm.
gift to share that with the world. That's for me what how success look like. So she's a successful artist that you guys should follow starting now. So go to YouTube, subscribe. Carson Jean Holly. She's only 11 years old. My goodness, how beautiful is that? A young artist, starting her career and already, gaining over 10,000 views, millions of followers on Facebook. So I am actually encourage you not only to follow Carson, but to follow your dreams, to follow,
Mhm.
Meridian on Facebook, especially
Yes.
here in Gainesville, so you guys can. You see how I switch directions really quick.
I love it.
Yeah, going back to Meridian's topic, make sure you follow that as well because Meridian is making an impact, making a difference with these videos, helping you to deal with this situation, with these hard times, emotionally, even physically. Sometimes taking a deep breath, you just were mentioning that, it's going to help you probably with your morning, with your who knows, because everybody's different. I really like what you said. We're in a different boat but on the same sea. So make sure that you do all this stuff, help yourself, love yourself, and please keep supporting as many people as you can. Keep paying it forward. It's about paying it forward. When I gotta tell you, Laura, when I got to this town, in Gainesville, I went in Gator Nation, guys. I remember Mirna Cabrera. All right, Mirna, you are watching. Kisses, hugs to you. Mirna Cabrera. She was I think, one of the supervisors or something with the international student department, and I was doing events, and she was helping me a lot. And I was like, Mina, how can I help you? How can I don't know how to thank you enough. I just got here and you're helping me a lot. And she told me something that I will never forget. She said, don't worry about it. Just pay it forward. Pay it forward. And coming from a country, I am from Cuba, coming from a country that I am very proud to say that I was really poor, all right, in my country. But at the same time, our richness was our values and helping people and the love for each other, our family, you know, that human being, Mirna Cabrera, to tell me that in that exact moment when me emotionally was needing that the most, because I just
Mhm.
got here without I mean, without nothing. I mean, I didn't have language. I didn't have any knowledge about the system. I was learning, and she helping me and just telling me, "Hey, just pay it forward." So I am fully dedicated, you know, to
Well, you
keep
are
paying it
doing
forward.
that. You are honoring that.
I wanna, I just wanna make sure that everybody share their gift. It doesn't matter. Sometimes we see things as with the wrong perception, like competition. No, no, it's not about that. It's about, I think everyone has, his own light, his own. Everybody shines a different way, and with
Mhm.
their gift, with their passion, and sometimes hard work is going to win against talent, and when you you find somebody like Carson, that you have the gift, the talent, but plus she's always putting the hard work to go the extra mile, and with the most wonderful support team, that's
Thank you.
it.
We've told her since she was little that hard work will trump talent when talent doesn't work hard. I mean, that's what it's about, you know. Talent gets you in the door, and then after that, okay, so you're talented. So what? So is everybody else in this room, you know. When you get in the room, now when you're in the
Yes.
room, what are you going to do? So she learned that when she was like 5, you know, and at the time it just seemed like a really timely, appropriate lesson to teach her because of the environment she was in. And now I look back on that and I'm like, oh my gosh, some artists don't learn that till they're 20, you know, and she has had that ingrained from kindergarten.
Wow,
So
that is a good job that you guys are doing with her. Hey,
thank
let's
you.
say hello, to a guy that is one of my biggest followers, Rosso Holley. Rosso, I know you are watching. I gotta send you hugs, because you are always supporting Morning Coffee with Elio, and I really appreciate you as well for everything that you do for our community, for our school system. Training, kids how to be great at their staff, and the amazing football coach. And it is Carson's dad, Carson's father. So you can imagine how awesome this guy is. So Russell, to you, hugs and blessings. So anything else that you would like to add before we go to our community, to anybody that is watching, that is probably going through tough times, anything at all that you would like to mention?
I just, just to reiterate, to loop back around to Meridian, because I do have such a passion for what we do. It's not just a job for me. Just Meridian really is by your side. It's not, from the personal standpoint, it's not a hypocritical organization. Like Meridian practices what they preach. They take care of their employees and their own families, and they've made sure that all of us are okay so that we can help make sure everybody else is okay. And there's something really special about that, So reach out. Don't feel embarrassed or ashamed about that. Sometimes we just need some help. And I want everybody to know that help is there. So Meridian's number is 352-374-5600. You can call anytime and get connected to our access center, and just at least ask some questions about what options you might have and how you're feeling.
Oh my gosh, this has been amazing. Laura, thank you for your time. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Elio.
Thank you very much for your time, for all of your support, for all of your knowledge, and the passion that you are putting into helping others, especially in these times when we need it the most. We all need it. I gotta tell you, sometimes I watch your videos, just because probably it's one of those days that, because the important thing is that you that are watching need to know that it's okay not to be okay. We all
Yeah.
have those days. It's not like, oh, it is always awesome. Sometimes the sky is not blue. It's that
Hmm.
simple. So when
Yep.
when when you have those days, Meridian is there for you. And once again, you guys are doing amazing with those videos. So I want to
Thank
thank you
you.
once again, and thank you for allowing Carson to share her gift with the world out there. So you
Thank you.
guys, you have tasks to do. You have homework to do. Go right now to Facebook and follow Meridian, and try to feel better, or to find new tools to deal with
Mhm.
these times. Okay, and also go to YouTube and support and follow Carson Jean Holly, and enjoy Boss Lady. This is Morning Coffee with Elio, of course, with Elio Piedra. And what? Yes, yes. Hey, before we go, we gotta cheers. Let me see. Cheers virtually. Let's do it. Let's do
Cheers.
it. Cheers. Hey, for you guys that are watching, for love, for confidence, for believing in believing in yourself, or believing in your goals and your dreams. Cheers to life, and cheers that no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, we are going to make it. This is Morning Coffee with Elio, and we're going to see you on Friday. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you very much for watching Morning Coffee with Elio. Yes, we're really looking forward to seeing you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do not forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and become part of the Morning Coffee with Elio community. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full.